Hello everybody, welcome back to another video with Lim Reviews. Now, Xiaomi Malaysia just launched the Xiaomi 12 Lite 5G. It came in this pretty nice box here. But what's really interesting about the 12 Lite 5G from this year is that it came with a massive price increment. Now, what I mean about that is that in terms of this device, it's actually the successor to the 11 Lite NE 5G from almost a year ago. And for the 6/128GB, we are seeing a price of RM1699. Now, this is 500 ringgit higher than that of the 11 Lite NE. And in terms of the 8/256, we are looking at a price of RM1899, guys. That is 300 ringgit higher again from last year's 11 Lite NE 5G. So what's really new? Why are we seeing this huge price bump here, guys? We're going to find out all about that in today's video. Now, before we begin, of course, if you support the content like this, don't forget to drop a like and sub to the channel. Very much appreciated. Now let's talk about the 12 Lite 5G. Now before we begin talking about what's new, what's reduced and all that, I want to say what is actually same here. The processor for the 12 Lite 5G is actually the same as that from a year ago, which is the Snapdragon 778G. That doesn't necessarily mean it's a bad thing. I mean, today, the processor is still very capable and it's actually good enough for playing a lot of games. I tried like Mobile Legends, Genshin Impact. It is still a very solid mid-range processor here, but I just want you guys to know that processor-wise, power-wise, everything is the same from a year ago. No improvements there. Alright, so what's really new then about this 12 Lite? Well, first things first, obviously we have a new design. Now, this new design takes over the Xiaomi 12 series design language. You have that very similar kind of camera bump on the top left corner. In terms of the back panel, this is completely made of glass, if I'm not mistaken. The back panel is very smooth. It has this sort of frosted glass kind of finish at the back here, which actually does feel very nice, but it's also very similar to the 11 Lite NE from, a year ago. Very similar kind of look there. In terms of the frame, now the frame itself, we have a flat frame, but it's completely made of plastics. You don't have those really premium feeling device kind of feel here. So, I mean, it looks alright, but it's just plastic, guys. Now, at the bottom here, you do have your Type-C port, you have your stereo speakers, you have that SIM card tray, and on the right, you do have your power button together with that volume rocker. Over on the left, it's completely clean and smooth, nothing there whatsoever. Alright, so that's the design. Now, what is the main change here on the 12 Lite 5G? Well, the main change here, I would say, is actually in terms of the camera at the back. Now, the main sensor from last year was a 64 megapixel unit. This time round, it is a 108 megapixel unit, and not just in terms of megapixel count, the sensor itself is also larger. That means it's able to capture more light at night. Now, I did take a couple of photos last night, and to be honest, I was actually pleasantly surprised with the performance coming from this new sensor. It's not actually a new sensor. We've seen it on previous phones, but it's definitely new to the 12 Lite 5G. So pictures at night is going to look excellent. There are minimal noise, and again, I was actually pleasantly surprised with the kind of quality that it can produce. So very good cameras now on the 12 Lite 5G. Now, what else is new? The second thing that's new here is actually in terms of the display at the front. So from last year, we had a 90Hz refresh rate display. This year, we have a 120Hz display. That means everything is even smoother. It also supports 12-bit color, so everything is supposed to look a bit nicer here on this flat AMOLED display. Apparently, it is the same kind of specification in terms of display with the more expensive Xiaomi 12. So very good display at the front here. That's also another slight increase. Now, the third big change here is in terms of the charging speeds. Now, last year we had 33-watt fast charge. This year, this has been bumped up to 67-watt fast charge. It does 0 to 84% in just half an hour, guys. So very fast charging. It does 0 to 100%, the entire charge in less than an hour, 50 minutes to be precise. So you're having very fast charging on the 12 Lite 5G. Alright, so what else is new? Some other small changes that I can say is actually new here is in terms of the selfie camera. The selfie camera at the front now also supports autofocus. Now, this is not something that you see very often in selfie cameras, so that's actually a nice touch there. And the last thing that's actually slightly upgraded is actually in terms of the battery capacity. We used to have 4250 mAh. That has been bumped slightly higher to 4300 mAh on the 12 Lite. So slight increase there, though nothing major. So okay, those are the changes that we are seeing for the 12 Lite. Now, what are we missing, however? So there are two things now missing on the 12 Lite. The first thing here is you do not have IP53. dust and water resistant, so that is gone on the 12 Lite. The second thing which might be actually quite a pain is actually in terms of the micro SD card slot support. So on the 11 Lite 5G, the NE, it actually supported the micro SD card slot, and you guys can expand your memory based on your memory cards and all that, but that is no longer available on the 12 Lite 5G. Alright, so at the end of the day, what do I think about this device? Well, with that huge price bump, I would say that the major change here is really in terms of the main sensor, the display, and of course the faster charging speed. But power-wise, everything is still the same, and you do lose a couple of things down the road. Honestly speaking, I really hope to be really positive about this device. If I just look at it as a standalone device, if the price were the same as last year, I would say definitely it's a good upgrade. But at this huge price bump, I mean, I was definitely a little bit disappointed with the 12 Lite 5G. Well, let me know what you guys think about this particular device. Do you think it is a good buy? Do you think this is something that you might consider buying? Let me know down in the comment section below. Last but not least, again, thank you for watching this video. Don't forget to drop a like and sub to the channel if you want to see more content like this. And I hope to see you guys in the next one. Stay safe, everybody. Bye!